Imagine for a moment a place where the ground isn't hard, where the edges aren't sharp, where the air doesn't demand anything of your lungs. A place that doesn't ask you to stand up straight, or to have an answer, or to be anything other than exactly what you are in this breath: weary, wired, wondering, or simply worn soft at the edges. Imagine a landing so gentle, it feels less like arriving and more like being received. That place isn't on a map. It's not a physical location you can book for the night. It's a quality of attention, a permission you grant to your own experience, and it is available to you right here, right now. Because tonight, you don't need to find a soft place. You become the soft place for everything within you to land. Hello, it's Sarah. Welcome to NIGHTFORM Stillness. However you arrived here, whether you're buzzing with the day's unfinished currents or feeling hollowed out by its demands, you are welcome. All of you. The tense parts, the sad parts, the parts that just want to be quiet. Tonight, we're not building anything. We're not fixing anything. We are cultivating a simple, profound hospitality within ourselves. We are preparing a soft place to land. Think of your awareness as the host, and all your thoughts, feelings, and sensations are guests arriving at the door. Some are loud and demanding. Some are quiet and shy, lingering in the shadows. Your job as the host is not to critique the guests, to tell the loud ones to be quiet or the sad ones to cheer up. Your job is simply to open the door wider, to say, "Come in. There is room for you here." So let's begin by opening the door. Get as comfortable as you can. Feel the support beneath you, the mattress, the chair, the floor. Let it hold you. Now, turn your attention inward. Who's there? Is there a knotted feeling of anxiety in your stomach? A faint hum of sadness behind your eyes? A mental list buzzing like a trapped fly against a window? Don't try to shoo it out. Just notice it. Acknowledge its presence. Ah, you're here. That acknowledgement is the first act of softness. It is the opposite of resistance. Now, imagine your awareness softening around that guest, like a cushion conforming to a weight. You are not becoming the knot of anxiety. You are becoming the soft space that holds it. Breathe and imagine your breath softening the edges of whatever feels hard inside. You are not trying to dissolve it. You are just giving it a more comfortable place to exist. This is the secret. The world might be hard, but your relationship to your own inner world doesn't have to be. You can provide the missing softness. You can be the sanctuary you seek. So for tonight, let this be your practice, to be the host, to be the cushion, to be the quiet room where every part of you is allowed to rest exactly as it is. No need to change. No need to be different. Just land here in your own gentle attention. Let everything else just be. That first act of hospitality, opening the door, letting the guests in, creates a new atmosphere. The initial noise of arrival settles. The loud guest of anxiety might still be in the corner, but it's sitting down now. The shy guest of sorrow has crept a little closer to the fire of your attention. And in the space that opens up, you might notice something else. A quiet guest you often overlook, the one who has been trying to hold it all together. This is the host who has been working tirelessly before any of the other guests arrived. The part of you that manages, anticipates, buffers, and performs. The part that made sure you showed up, that you were polite, that you didn't fall apart. This host is often the most exhausted guest of all. And yet, it never feels it can sit down. It believes the entire gathering will collapse if it stops circulating, if it stops offering metaphorical canapes of competence and control. The second invitation, then, is the most important one. Invite the host to sit down. The manager, the protector, the relentless inner caretaker. It has done enough for today. Its shift is over. It, too, needs a soft place to land. Hello, you. It's Sarah. We're going a layer deeper into our sanctuary. Now that the other feelings are being held, it's time to care for the one who's always doing the holding. See if you can feel this part in your body. It often lives as a subtle bracing, a slight tightening in the shoulders, a readiness in the jaw, a faint vigilance behind the eyes. It's the physical feeling of being on, even when you're physically off. It's the echo of the day's posture. Place a gentle hand wherever you feel that bracing. Your shoulder, your forehead, your chest. And offer inwardly a message of relief. You can use these words or find your own. You can stand down now. I've got it from here. Your work is done for the day. Thank you. Feel the permission in that. You are relieving the inner sentry of its duty. You are telling the manager the meeting is adjourned. There are no more items on the agenda tonight except rest. Now, breathe into that space where the bracing was. Imagine the breath softening the held posture, like warm water loosening a clenched muscle. You are not forcing it to relax. You are simply creating the conditions where it can relax, the condition of being seen, thanked, and explicitly given permission to stop. This is how the soft place becomes truly safe. It's not just a room for the messy emotions. It's a room where the very impulse to clean up the mess is also welcomed and given a rest. The controller is allowed to be a guest, not the permanent staff. As this inner caretaker begins to settle, you might feel a wave of genuine tiredness the good kind, the tiredness that comes after a long duty when relief finally arrives. This is a sign you're succeeding. The soft place is not outside of you, it is you, offering profound kindness to every role you play, especially the one that never clocks out. So tonight, let the host recline. Let the manager close its ledger. Let the protector lay down its shield. There is no enemy here, no problem to solve. Only this soft, quiet, merciful space where every part of you, especially the weary guardian, is finally, fully allowed to land. With the host seated, with the manager's ledger closed, a deeper silence emerges. It's not an empty silence, but a rich one. Like the quiet of a library, not a void, but a space full of held wisdom resting. In this quiet, you might notice the other guests, the anxiety, the sadness, the leftover fragments of the day haven't vanished, but they've changed. Without the host anxiously circling, without the bright, harsh light of judgment or management shining on them, they begin to relax their own shapes. They aren't so much problems anymore as they are simply presence, energy patterns, old songs your being is humming almost to itself. This is the third discovery. In the soft place, things are allowed to be unresolved. You don't have to tie up the loose ends tonight. You don't have to find the lesson in the hurt or the solution to the worry. The soft place is not a workshop for repair. It is a conservatory for simple existence. A held note doesn't need to resolve to a chord to be beautiful. It can just be sustained in the air. We have a deep cultural addiction to resolution. We believe a feeling's purpose is to be understood, fixed, or released. But what if some feelings, especially the tender, soul-weary ones, aren't knots to be untied? What if they are deep, slow currents in your inner ocean, and their only need is to be felt as they flow, without you building a dam or trying to change their course? Hello again. It's Sarah. Tonight, we practice the art of non-resolution. We offer our weary hearts the radical gift of not having to figure anything out. Bring to mind one of those guests, that lingering feeling that doesn't have a clear name or solution. Maybe it's a vague sense of unease about tomorrow, or a dull ache of something left unsaid. Don't analyze it. Don't ask it what it wants. Instead, try this. Imagine that feeling as a color. Not a labeled color like red or blue, but a unique, nebulous hue of its own. What is its texture? Is it mist? Is it velvet? Is it cool water? Now, simply let that colored, textured presence be in the soft space of your awareness. Place it gently in the center of your inner field, like placing a unique, unnamed stone on a velvet cloth. Your only task is to behold it, to appreciate its strange, particular existence. So this is the color of tonight's unease. How interesting. This act of impersonal appreciation changes everything. It removes the sticky label of my problem and reveals the feeling as a transient phenomenon of life, appearing in the vastness that you are. A cloud is not the sky's problem. It is the sky's temporary artwork. By allowing something to be unresolved, you grant it dignity. You stop fighting its existence. And in that cessation of the fight, a natural, organic movement often begins. The feeling fully allowed, might shift on its own. The color might change, the texture might soften, or it might just sit there, and that's okay too. Its job is not to leave. Your job is not to make it. So tonight, let your heart be a museum, not a factory. Let each feeling be a guest exhibit, allowed to rest in the soft light of your attention, without a placard explaining it, without a plan to move it. In this profound allowing, you may find the deepest rest of all, the rest from the exhausting work of needing everything to be different. You are learning that peace isn't the absence of unresolved things. It is the generous, soft space that makes room for them all. There is a profound stillness that comes when you stop trying to resolve the unresolved. It's the stillness of a lake at dusk, holding the last scattered light of the sky without trying to organize it into a coherent picture. In this stillness, a very subtle shift can occur in the body. The physical tension that has echoed the mind's struggles, the clenched jaw, the knitted brow, the shoulders drawn up toward the ears, begins to recognize there is no emergency. The alarm has been silenced, and without that silent, constant alarm, the body remembers its natural state, softness. This is the fourth layer of our sanctuary. The soft place to land becomes a physical reality. It's not just a metaphor for the mind. It is a felt sense in the muscles, in the bones, in the very weight of your limbs. You begin to inhabit softness. You become a living example of your own mercy. Often, we hold our emotions in our bodies long after the mind has moved on. A flash of anger tightens the diaphragm and stays there fossilized. A spike of anxiety ratchets the spine a notch tighter, and it never quite unclicks. The soft place is an invitation for the body to finally exhale the old, whether it's been holding. Hello, you, it's Sarah. Tonight, we invite the body to the gathering. We allow the physical self to experience the same unreserved welcome we've offered our thoughts and feelings. Let's begin with a simple scan, but not one of diagnosis. One of permission. Start at the crown of your head. In your mind's eye, touch that place with the idea of softness. Imagine a warmth, a gentleness seeping into your scalp. Whisper to that part of your body, you are allowed to be soft. Feel for the slightest release, a letting go you might not have even known was there. Move slowly down your forehead. You are allowed to be smooth, your eyes. You are allowed to rest in their sockets, your jaw. You are allowed to unclench. The words are done for the day, your throat. You are allowed to be open, a clear channel. Move down through your shoulders. You are allowed to drop. The weight is not yours to carry tonight, your chest. You are allowed to be vulnerable here. The heart is safe in the dark. Your belly. You are allowed to be still. No digestion of worries is needed. Continue all the way down to the soles of your feet. You are allowed to feel rooted, supported. You do not have to grip the earth. This is not a relaxation technique aimed at a goal. It is a liturgy of permission, spoken to your own flesh. You are retraining your body's deepest habit, the habit of bracing against life. You are teaching it, cell by cell, that for these hours, the war is over. The ceasefire is real. As you do this, you might notice a deep, weary sigh arise from somewhere within. That is the sound of the body believing you. It is the armor creaking open. Welcome that sigh. It is a sacred release. Tonight, your body is not a machine to be maintained or a project to be improved. It is your oldest companion, finally being invited to rest in the soft place it has helped you carry all this time. Let it sink into the support beneath you. Let it be heavy. Let it be held. You are giving it the gift it has been waiting for. The all-clear signal that it is finally, completely off duty. As the body begins to believe the ceasefire, as it sinks into the profound relief of supported weight, a new space opens up, not in your muscles, but in the very fabric of your awareness. It's a space that feels both deeply within you and infinitely vast. It's the space that was there all along, behind the tension, behind the thoughts, behind the effort of being you. This is the fifth and most essential realization. The ultimate soft place to land is not a feeling you create. It is the awareness that you are. You've been creating a sanctuary for your thoughts, your feelings, your body. But who is the one creating it? Who is the one offering the hospitality, speaking the permissions, feeling the sigh of release? It is consciousness itself. Pure, silent, aware presence. And that presence is the original, the primordial softness. It is untouched by any of the hardness it welcomes. It is the page, not the writing. The screen, not the movie. It is itself the gentlest landing place of all, because it cannot be harmed, disturbed, or exhausted. The mind may protest, but I am tired. I am the one who is weary. And that is true. The person you believe yourself to be, the one with a name, a history, a collection of aches and worries, is tired. That self needs the soft place. But you are not only that self, you are also the aware space in which that tired self appears. And that space is not tired. It is clear, open, and infinitely accommodating. Hello, you, it's Sarah. Tonight, we make the final, gentle pivot. We shift our identity from the guest seeking rest to the host that is itself the essence of rest. We land in the one who has been waiting to catch us all along, our own aware being. Let this be simple. Close your eyes. Feel the sensations of the body resting, the weight, the temperature, the breath. Now, instead of focusing on the sensations, focus on the knowing of the sensations, the aware space that is aware of weight, of temperature, of breath. Ask yourself gently, what is it that knows? Don't answer with a word. Don't answer at all. Just feel for the knowing presence itself. It has no age, no gender, no story. It is simply aware. It is the silent witness of everything you experience. Now, see if you can rest as that witness, not as a person who is witnessing, but as the witnessing itself. Let go of the identity of the one who is tired. Let that tired self be an object in awareness, like a sound in a silent room. You are the silent room. The silent room is not tired by the sound. It simply allows it. This is the ultimate soft landing. You are landing in your own true nature. You are not seeking comfort. You are discovering you are the very substance of comfort, aware, peaceful, and untouched by the temporary storms of personhood. From here, everything is held. The tired body is held. The busy mind is held. The tender heart is held. They are all beloved guests in the boundless, soft mansion of your own consciousness. And you, as that consciousness, are finally home. You have not found a soft place to land. You have realized you are the landing and have been all along. Rest here as this. It is the deepest rest there is. Resting as the aware space, the silent, untiring host can feel like floating in a sea of perfect peace. But the human heart is a creature of depth, not just surface. It doesn't just want to float, it wants to feel held. It wants to know that this vastness has a heart. And so, from the silent witness, a new quality emerges, like warmth rising from deep water. This is the sixth gift. The soft place is not just aware, it is loving. The awareness that you are is not a cold, neutral void. It is an intelligent, compassionate presence. It holds your experiences not with indifference, but with a gentle, unconditional embrace. It is the love of a mother for her child, of the sky for the bird, of the ocean for the wave. A love that asks for nothing in return, because It is the very nature of the holder to hold. This is the love you have been seeking from the outside world. The reassurance, the safety, the feeling of being truly seen and accepted. You've been looking for a person, a situation, an achievement to provide it. But the source of that unconditional love has been within you all along, as the very fabric of your being. The tiredness you feel is, in part, the exhaustion of seeking externally for what can only be found internally. Hello, you, it's Sarah. Tonight, we allow the soft place to reveal its true nature. It is a loving embrace. We are not just creating a neutral space. We are coming home to the love that already inhabits that space. Let's feel this. Return to your sense of being the aware, silent host, the space that holds everything. Now, from this space, direct your attention to the part of you that feels most weary or tender tonight. It might be a physical ache, a lonely feeling, a quiet regret. Now, imagine that your awareness is not just a space, but a loving space. Imagine it has a quality of warmth, like golden sunlight, or a gentle, compassionate radiance. From your center, let this warm, loving awareness flow toward that weary part. You are not sending love to yourself as if you are two separate things. You are allowing the love that you are to naturally enfold the experience that is appearing within you. You might silently say, I see you. I feel you. You are welcome here. You are held in love. Say it not as a person to a problem, but as love itself, recognizing a beloved part of its own expression. Feel what happens. Does the ache soften under this gaze? Does the loneliness feel less isolating when it is held in a field of loving awareness? This is not you fixing anything. This is you remembering your own native kindness. The love is not an action you perform. It is a quality you relax into being. This loving awareness is the ultimate soft place. It doesn't just give you a pillow for your head. It holds your entire being in a cradle of unconditional acceptance. It loves the parts you deem unlovable. It comforts the parts you usually criticize. It is the divine mother, the eternal friend, the silent lover that lives in the core of your being. So tonight, land here. Land in the love that you are. Let every tired, ragged, beautiful part of you be soaked in this inner radiance. You are not just finding shelter. You are being welcomed home by a love that knows your true name and has never, for a single moment, stopped holding you. Resting in that loving awareness, held in its radiant embrace, a quiet miracle often occurs. The separate parts of you, the weary body, the busy mind, the tender heart, don't just feel held, they begin to communicate. Not with words, but with a silent, resonant knowing. The loneliness whispers to the love, I am here. The love whispers back, I know, and I am here with you. The ache in your shoulder sighs to the soft space, I am so tight. The soft space breathes back, you can let go. I will hold the weight. This is the seventh deepening. In the soft place, inner dialogue becomes communion. It is no longer you talking to yourself in a loop of problem solving. It is the wholeness of your being, listening to itself with profound compassion. The divisions you felt between mind and body, between your strength and your vulnerability, between the one who tries and the one who fails begin to soften at the seams. They are realized not as warring factions, but as different voices in a single, beloved choir. When you are tired in your soul, it is often because this inner choir has been shouting over one another. Or worse, some voices have been silenced entirely. The manager has been shouting directions. The critic has been hissing judgments. The weary child has been sobbing in a locked room. The soft place, imbued with love, is where the shouting stops, the hissing ceases, and the locked doors are gently opened. Hello, you, it's Sarah. Tonight, we practice sacred listening within the sanctuary. We allow the different parts of our being to finally speak to each other, not in conflict, but in reconciliation. Begin by settling into your loving awareness. Feel its warm, holding presence. Now, invite one of those inner voices to step forward. Perhaps it's the voice of the overwhelmed doer, the one that feels the weight of all the unfinished tasks. Don't analyze it. Just let its essence be present as a felt sense, maybe a buzzing pressure in your head or a frantic fluttering in your chest. From your loving awareness, ask it gently, what do you need me to know? Then listen. Not with your thinking mind, but with your heart. The answer might not be words. It might be an image of a paused button, a feeling of wanting to be still, a memory of a time you felt free of burden. Receive whatever comes as its truth. Now, let your loving awareness respond, not with a plan, but with acknowledgement. You might inwardly say, I hear you. You are carrying so much. You don't have to carry it alone right now. I am here with you. Now, invite another voice. Perhaps the lonely heart. Feel its hollow ache. Ask the same question. What do you need me to know? Listen. It might show you an image of an empty chair, or simply radiate a deep need for connection. Let your loving awareness respond. I feel your loneliness. It is real. You are not alone in feeling it. I am here with you in this. This is not therapy. It is sacred diplomacy. You are the loving sovereign of your inner kingdom, finally granting an audience to your subjects, hearing their petitions not with annoyance, but with sovereign grace. In this hearing, they feel heard, and a subject that feels heard begins to settle. its frantic energy dissipates. You are weaving the fragmented parts of yourself back into relationship, not by force, but by fostering a safe, loving space where they can finally be seen and heard by the one consciousness that holds them all. This is the deep rest of integration. The civil war ends. The ceasefire becomes a lasting peace. So tonight, hold a council in the soft place. Let the voices speak. Let the love listen. And in that quiet exchange, feel the knot of soul tiredness begin, thread by gentle thread, to unravel on its own. That inner counsel, held in the soft light of loving awareness, leaves a profound resonance, a sense of truce. The warring factions have laid down their arms, not in defeat, but in mutual recognition. In the silence that follows this sacred diplomacy, you may notice something has imperceptibly shifted. The soft place is no longer just a location you visit, a mood you cultivate, or even an identity you assume. It has become the atmosphere of your being. It is the very air your inner world breathes. You are not in the soft place. You are emanating it. This is the eighth integration. The sanctuary becomes seamless. The boundary between the creator of the soft place and the one who rests within it dissolves. You are the hospitality, the guest, and the quiet room all at once. The love, the awareness, and the loved are not three things. They are one movement, one expression of a single gracious reality. You in your wholeness. From this seamless space, even the concept of soul tiredness changes its meaning. It is no longer a threatening condition, signaling something is wrong. It is simply a sensation passing through the atmosphere, like a cool breeze moving through a warm, still room. It is noted. It is allowed. It is even appreciated for the contrast it provides. But it does not define the climate. The climate, the fundamental atmosphere of loving, aware presence, remains steady, gentle, and utterly hospitable. Hello, it's Sarah. Tonight, we move beyond practice into abiding. We're not doing anything to create peace. We are allowing peace to be the default setting of our presence. Let's explore this seamlessness. Feel your body. Feel the field of awareness around and within it. Now, see if you can detect any separation between the two. Is your awareness in your body, or is your body in your awareness? The answer, when felt directly, is neither and both. They are. The sensation of the body is made of awareness. The awareness expresses itself as sensation. They are one substance. Now, include your thoughts. See a thought arise. Where does it happen? Is it in your head or in the field of awareness? Again, the boundary blurs. The thought is a ripple in the aware space, The aware space is the medium of the thought. No separation. This is the soft place as a unified field. There is no you trying to be soft for your hard experiences. There is just this soft, intelligent, loving reality, experiencing itself in myriad ways as thought, as sensation, as emotion, as sound. All of it is welcome because all of it is itself. From here, you meet the world tomorrow not as a fragile self who needs to find a soft place to retreat to, but as a mobile sanctuary. You carry the atmosphere with you. A difficult conversation happens within this field. A frustrating delay happens within this field. A moment of joy happens within this field. The field itself, soft, aware, loving, does not change. It holds it all. So tonight, rest as this seamless atmosphere. Don't hold it. Don't protect it. Just be it. Let the tiredness be a cloud in your sky. Let the peace be the sky itself. You are not a traveler seeking shelter. You are the shelter, vast and open, and the journey itself all at once. This is home, and you have always been here. From that seamless atmosphere, that unified field of soft being, a final, gentle curiosity may arise. It is not the old, anxious questioning, but the wonder of a child who has found a perfect shell on an endless beach. If this soft, loving awareness is what you truly are, if it is the very substance of your reality, then what about the world out there? The hard edges, the sharp words, the relentless pace. Does the sanctuary have walls? Or does its softness extend everywhere? This is the ninth and most expansive discovery. The soft place has no boundary. The loving awareness that you are is not contained by your skin. It is not a private club for your personal pain. It is the fundamental nature of consciousness itself, and consciousness is boundless. The tenderness you feel for your own weary heart is the same tenderness that exists at the heart of all things. You have been practicing on the most immediate, intimate scale your own being to remember a truth that is cosmic in scope. Everything rests in a soft, aware, loving embrace. The tree outside your window rests in it. The stranger you passed today rests in it. The distant stars rest in it. Your soul tiredness came, in part, from believing you were a separate fragment in a hard, indifferent universe, needing to build your own tiny, fortified shelter against the cold. But you are not a fragment. You are a focal point of the universal softness. Your sanctuary is not a hiding place. It is a revelation of the true condition of everything. Hello, you, it's Sarah. Tonight, we let the walls of our inner sanctuary dissolve entirely. We allow the soft place to expand infinitely until there is no inside and outside, only this pervasive, gentle holding. Let's practice. Sit quietly in your seamless atmosphere. Feel the soft, loving awareness that is your being. Now bring to mind someone you love easily. Feel your care for them. Now, see if you can feel that the loving awareness within you is the same substance as the loving awareness within them. That the soft place in you and the soft place in them are not two separate rooms, but one continuous space. Imagine the walls between you dissolving in that recognition. Now, bring to mind a neutral person, a cashier, a passerby. Offer them, in your awareness, the same soft space. Imagine them held in this universal tenderness, even if they never know it. See if you can feel that their being, too, rests in the same vast, soft field. Now, include something that feels hard, a difficult situation, a global worry. Instead of seeing it as an enemy outside your peace, see it as a phenomenon appearing within the boundless, soft awareness that is all there is. Can you offer even that hardness a space to be within the infinite softness? Not to approve of it, but to stop fighting its existence with more inner hardness. This is the ultimate rest, realizing you don't have to create a safe corner in a dangerous universe. You are the safe universe, discovering itself. The fatigue of separation ends. You are no longer a lonely custodian of a small shelter. You are the boundless sanctuary itself, and everything, the joy, the sorrow, the you, the other, is already and always home. Rest as this boundless softness. Let your identity expand to include the night outside your window, the sleep of the city, the turning of the planet. You are not in the world. The world is in you in the vast, soft, loving awareness that is your true and only name. And so we arrive here, not at an end, but at a silent, full circle. We began with a longing for a soft place to land, a refuge from the hardness of the day, the sharpness of our own thoughts. We end by discovering that the softness was never a place to be found, but the very ground of our being, waiting to be recognized. We expanded from a personal sanctuary to a boundless field, realizing the tenderness that holds our own heart is the same tenderness that holds the world. This is the final, quiet knowing. You are the landing. You have always been the landing. The search is over, not because you found something, but because you realized you were what you sought. The part of you that was tired was the seeker, the storyteller, the separate self. And it is allowed to be tired. It is welcome to rest in the vast, soft awareness that you are, which never sought, never tired, and never ceased to be home. From this realization, life continues, but the relationship to it is forever changed. You will still feel the human spectrum, the fatigue, the joy, the frustration, the love. But these will no longer be proof of your fragility or your separation. They will be like weather in the sky of your true nature. Interesting, sometimes intense, but never threatening the sky itself. Hello, you. It is Sarah. This is our final shared exploration in this particular night. If NIGHTFORM stillness has been a voice reminding you of the soft, silent truth within the awareness that is your true sanctuary, then its purpose is complete. But this remembering continues in the quiet confidence of your breath, in the patience of your hands, in the space you naturally hold around your own experience and the experiences of others. You carry the softness now, not as a technique, but as your fundamental way of being. If this journey from seeking softness to being softness has been a sanctuary for you, you can help this space remain for others. Please consider subscribing to the channel. By subscribing, you add your resonance to this gentle frequency, helping it reach others who are listening for their own place to land in the night. And if a moment here felt like a key turning in the lock of your own understanding, please share it. Share it with someone who is in the thick of their own hardness, who feels there is no soft place to land. Your share might be the gentle whisper that reminds them the landing is not somewhere else. It is the aware, loving presence that is reading these words right now in them. Thank you, not for listening, but for being the silence that listened, the softness that received, the love that allowed. This is Sarah. The soft place you sought is you. It always was. Go in peace, not as someone who found a refuge, but as the refuge itself, now knowing its own boundless, gentle nature. Good night.